What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. Today we're going over Combat Reload, which is a augment mod for the Tigris shotgun family type. And the thing about this is, it's just a generic shotgun, and you need to jump through a lot of hoops to make this mod even work. So we're going to turn this into a mini review of the Sancti Tigris and just an overview of augment mods in general, and how we probably need an augment slot for weapons and frames at this point. If you enjoy these types of videos, we do them every day on this channel, and we'll be doing lots of stuff for the new update coming out on Wednesday or whatever it is. So make sure you're subbed and all that, and make sure to check out the live stream channel as well. We will be live streaming a lot tonight. Alright, so I cannot link this weapon or this mod in game, so we're going to just start with the Sancti Tigris, okay? Combat Reload is not linkable in game. We're using the Sancti Tigris for this video because I find it just pretty much better than the Tigris Prime. And what we're looking at here is a kind of generic shotgun, honestly, all things considered. This is a space ninja shooter game. We just got a normal shotgun. It's going to require Master Rank 12. This comes from the New Loka Syndicate. You can trade this from other players and all that stuff. It's got a 2 fire rate and a 2-round magazine, 6 pellets innately. So for this new Combat Reload mod, you need to hit 5 pellets as headshots to get any benefit from it at all. But remember, you put multi-shot mods in here to make it fire more than 6 pellets at base. 1.5 second reload, that's what we're trying to cut down with this new mod. We're also going to be using other reload mods too because it's funny. And the weapon stats has 1260 base damage with 15% crit chance and a 1.5 multiplier, 14% stash chance per projectile, and it's mostly slash weighted. Unfortunately, the Tigris Prime is really not much better than this. It fires out a couple more pellets at base, but the base stats are not really too crazy. So just comparatively. So on the Tigris Prime versus the Sancti Tigris, we've got 300 more base damage, which is good. It has 2 more pellets, has slower reload, has a better crit multiplier, but we lose status chance and crit chance when doing this. It also has technically a little bit better damage fall off. So it's up to you whichever one you want to pick. There's a little thing about the Sancti Tigris that not a lot of people realize either. Since it's a Sancti weapon that comes from New Loka, it has a special ability called Purity, where if you fill up the XP bar, it's actually going to... let's get some gameplay on the screen. It's going to fill up this XP bar, and once the XP bar is filled, it will release a Corrosive blast in the area, which will give you 25% increased health, and it will heal you as well. So that's kind of cool. Tigris Prime does not do that, so that automatically is something better for me, because if I'm using a weapon like this, at least have it doing something interesting, Like, the Tigris Prime is just, it's as generic as it gets. Basically, it's a double-barrel shotgun, and you can't fire both shells at once, so... Alright, so the key to this build and play style that we're going for today is going to be reload speed and manually reloading. If you didn't know this about Warframe, you could actually manually reload your gun by pushing the reload button. That will make it, it will basically get rid of any reload delay. So what I'm trying to say to you right now is once you fire the gun off, hit the reload, hit R or whatever it is on controller. We've got reload speed here, Seeking Fury. We've got Primary Merciless for 30% more reload speed there, and then we've got Combat Reload. This is kind of a meme build. This viral one is more serious, but look at this problem we're running into. For a viral 100 munitions build, you need so many mod slots that it's it feels wrong to even put this mod on here in the first place, the augment mod. I would rather just have something more useful there. So we can't jam double reload on the viral HM build. That's why having an augment mod slot for augments would be great, because not every weapon even has an augment, but a lot of the times they're very underwhelming. We went over the last 2, the one for the Akjagara. I'm not going to run that. This one, I'm not going to run the Tigris in the first place, but I'm not going to run that either. So here we are with the Corrosive reload build. Now I'm going to show you how it is with me manually reloading and me letting the game automatically reload. Okay, so we're going to fire off these shots. We have to get 5 pellets as headshots. That's me pushing the reload button. Now let's just see it not pushing the reload button. See that delay there is right there? I'm going to do it again, manually reloading. Instant. If you do what I'm doing, you can do this with this mod, which is kind of cool, but then again, not actually, good as far as the meta weapons of this game are concerned. And also, mashing the reload button is very annoying. So, you'll have a little bit less DPS. I'm gonna stop manually reloading here so you guys can see that. So with automatic reloads, it's a little bit worse, but at least you're not pushing the reload button a bunch, which can be kind of annoying, and it's I'm already using the Tigris in the first place. So I don't want to be any more annoyed than I already am. So, you know, it's up to personal preference. Also, if you mash the reload button too quickly, you might reload before the second shot gets fired off. So that's something you definitely want to keep in mind as well. Of course, we're shooting these guys in simulacrum with their fully paused and all that. So let's show the 100 munitions build. Of course, this is with no buffing or anything like that. It's just kind of underwhelming, guys. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but are you even surprised that the Tigris is not meta? Because I'm definitely not. So we're going to go for 100 munitions here with just one reload mod, which is the Augment itself. And yeah, we can go over weapon grades and stuff like that because it's not going to be a super long one. We really need an Augment mod slot at this point. Like for frames and for weapons. Because a lot of these Augments I'm not going to run in the first place because my build is already pretty tight. And then you make them like underwhelming ones like this where it's like you have to first get headshots and then for 3 seconds you get a reload buff. Like why 3 seconds? Make it like 10 seconds. Alright, so here we are. Need some galvanized stacks here. Of course, we are running Merciless. If you wanted more overall damage, you didn't want as much reload, you can go for Primary Deadhead, which will give you a better headshot multiplier, which, you know, you are going for headshots with this mod, so it makes sense. But I just like to jam all that reload. I know it has a little bit of diminishing returns, but there's 100 munitions for you. With no buffing, of course, and like pretty much no Merciless stacks, so it could be worse. It could definitely be worse. But you gotta remember that Primary Deadhead does not proc off of slash proc. So if the enemy dies to a slash proc, not the upfront base damage, like that guy right there, he would have given us no Deadhead stacks. So that's up to you. I'm just showing you what's possible here. And you know, now that we're stacked up, it's one-shotting them basically. But even with Seeking Fury, which by the way, Seeking Fury should probably get buffed too. Seeking Fury is a nightmare mod for shotguns where it gives you punch through and reload speed. But the stats are really underwhelming and low. And if you look at, like, this is like a weapon that would probably want some punch through. I mean, it's pretty much single target. And we're trying to get multiple headshots. So if we have punch through, we can shoot through multiple enemies and get some multiple headshots. This mod feels weak. 15% reload. The 1.2 punch through is nice, but look what other punch through mods you have here. Oh, look, you don't have like any at all. You got Seeking Force, a 15 drain mod that gives you 2.1, so decent punch through. And you got Vigilante Offense, giving you 1.5 punch through and that Vigilante bonus. This seems like the best bang for your buck, but 15% reload speed feels like trash. On this build, we're running Chilling Reload for 40% reload speed. I'd say you could probably buff Seeking Fury to like 30% reload speed, and no one's going to bat an eye at it. So yeah, that's basically the build. Let's go over some gameplay, and then we're going to do some weapon grades. Because, I mean, this thing, it fires a lot of pellets, so at least there's that. So it's got Impact, Puncture, Slash innately, and that, I think it was like 14% status chance. It can proc them up. Is it going to be good? No, it's not. So here's a Corrosive build against the Acolyte. Kind of meh, like honestly, like I'm literally stunning them and shooting them in the face with a shotgun at like max speed. And it still took like 6-7 shots, maybe even more. So that's not good. I'm also using Ensnare to group the enemies up so I can easily, like, you know, headshot them. Not exactly normal stuff. And I actually switched to my melee very quickly because I'm like, this is just not good. So I wasn't expecting this to make the Tigris good, but at least you could just manually reload it to have a little bit of fun, make it feel like it's corrupted, kind of. So this is not going to reflect very well on its weapon grades, unfortunately, as it basically has F mob clear. I mean, I'm trying. We put the punch through mod on here. We're making it multi-target technically, but I have to still reload every single time. And like with all this reload speed jammed on here, it feels okay reload speed wise, but it's like I'm just trying to say, when we put these weapons on the mob clearing scale, the Brahma and the Tsar and all that are also on this. They're on this this like placement list, so it automatically gets an F tier mob clearing grade. I'm surprised I made it 5 minutes into the survival, to be honest. So yeah, mob clearing F. You could maybe go with like D plus or D minus potentially if you like just have no weapons that are actually good, and like comparatively it's like, oh, it's the only weapon I have that's decent that can kill enemies in the steel path. So maybe in that sense it would be okay, but for players like me, definitely not. F tier mob clear. Acolyte kill speed C plus. I mean, it has 1200 base damage, so that automatically makes it better than things that like rely on like entirely on slash procs like the Ekjagara, like we said the other day. Like I think this kills Acolytes better than the Ekjagara does because of all that base damage, and like it does proc slash, but it's not entirely reliant on slash. So C plus, you know, maybe a little bit lower, a little bit better. Max status potential B, since we fire off so many pellets and it has okay enough status chance. You know, we're getting good amount of status here. We're trying to kill the enemies, not status proc them though. So yeah, the fact that that's its biggest strength is already a problem for this thing. So overall grade of C. I feel like C being average, it doesn't get much more appropriate than that. Maybe C minus because this is a Space Ninja game. It's just a generic shotgun. I mean, why are we using generic shotguns when we have things like the Archiplasmor as an option, where I can fire off my shotgun shot, it kills the entire hallway. It can even bounce around the corner, kill the guy around the corner in that hallway too. This is, it's like they're not even comparable, but they use the same mods. They're in competition for the same weapon slot in your inventory. This is just a yikes. And like I said, if we had an Augment mod slot, like right next to the Exilus slot or something like that, maybe that would kind of help it. But then we're still running into the same thing. It's like, okay, is even getting an Exilus Augment slot or whatever for this weapon going to make me run over the Archiplasmor or even the Babonico or some other actual good shotgun? The answer is no. You could make this thing full auto, instant reload like immediately, and I probably still wouldn't run it over the Archiplasmor because the kill speed would be lower still. It's kind of crazy to say that, but that's the power creep. That's how power creep we are at this point. Instant kill. Full auto, like instant reload weapons would not be as good as some of the AoE stuff. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, Tigris Prime is pretty much the same situation, just doesn't have the corrosive, like healing AoE thing that I kind of like. So feel free to try that out. I don't think it will be like substantially different. Like I said, 200 more base damage, a couple more pellets, pretty good, but not good enough that it's gonna make it like stand out different from this, in my opinion. So I'll see you guys next time later on Twitch as well, and take it easy. Peace.